All right, let's just say the quiet part out loud from the start of this video. Insurance is boring, but as our head writer Mike learned when he had to have an emergency appendectomy in the middle of nowhere Indonesia, it can be incredibly helpful if you ever find yourself in a less than ideal travel situation. So let's break down credit card travel insurance in the most exciting way we can and go over some of the various benefits, from covering meals during a flight delay to paying for major emergency surgery while traveling in a foreign country. And then we'll of course go over which credit cards offer some of the best travel insurance so that you can have that extra peace of mind on your next adventure. So I get that it might not be as flashy and exciting as airport lounge access or other premium benefits, but I think travel insurance is the most underrated benefit of many travel credit cards. And typically when we review these premium cards, we might briefly mention that they offer travel insurance in some format, but what does that actually mean? Well, let's break these benefits into two major categories: health or medical insurance, and then trip protection insurance. Fairly self-explanatory, but medical insurance would encompass everything from needing a prescription if you get sick while you're traveling to medical evacuation or emergency surgery for more serious situations. Trip protection, on the other hand, would encompass trip delay coverage, so maybe if you get delayed overnight, you might be able to get your meals and or accommodations covered. Trip cancellation insurance, which could allow you to receive compensation if you had to cancel a trip that is otherwise non-refundable, or even miscellaneous benefits like insurance for lost or delayed baggage, and the one that I personally use most often, rental car insurance, which could save you hundreds of dollars on its own. Now, I'll remind you that we are going to get to some of the cards that offer the best travel insurance benefits in a second, because each card is going to have different benefits. But what I will say before we go any further is that, first of all, you have to pay with your premium card if you want those insurance benefits to apply. So if you're booking a flight and you want to have cancellation insurance, then don't pay for that flight with your Discover It card. Just having a premium card in your wallet doesn't mean that the travel insurance benefits that it offers apply to all of your travel, just the things that you paid for using that card. It's also important that you take the time to understand the fine print for your specific product, boring as it may be, because if you're like me and when your flashy new credit card showed up in the mail, you promptly tossed out that huge packet of paper that came with it, then you might want to go to your card provider's website and read through that, because not understanding those details in an emergency situation could cost you thousands of dollars. For example, in Mike's scary situation in Indonesia, his card policy stated that if you had a medical emergency, you have to call for approval before receiving emergency services. Obviously, they understand that that isn't always possible, but my point is, had he not known that and had just waited to file a claim until after the fact, he probably would have been on the hook for the $5,000 hospital bill. If you want to read that entire crazy story and get some other helpful tips on this topic, I'll link to Mike's newsletter about that story down in the description. But take the 30 minutes and read through that fine print and save the number for your card's insurance provider in your phone, so that if you ever do find yourself in a situation like this, you're not fumbling through PDFs in your phone in a foreign country trying to understand what is covered while dealing with a medical emergency. Trust me, I've been there and it is not fun.
This turns out sandboarding 2 months after major eye surgery is a bad idea.
Now, it is worth mentioning here that travel credit cards are obviously not the only way to get travel insurance. And even if you are covered through a credit card, there are situations where a third-party travel insurance policy might be worthwhile. Again, everyone's situation and trip is going to be completely different, but personally, I've used TravelX insurance in the past, but some of our other favorites would be things like AXA travel insurance and Safety Wings, none of which are a sponsor of this video, and it's always a good idea to shop around a few different options. But for the cost of a pizza, in a lot of cases, you can give yourself a lot of peace of mind on your next trip. So I did just want to mention that. Oftentimes when you're booking a trip, you might also see travel insurance options available for purchase when you're checking out for flights or accommodations. The one I see most often and have used personally is Alliance Travel Insurance. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, and while I typically skip this because of the other benefits that my credit cards offer, again, depending on the situation, this might make sense for you as well. And the last thing I'll mention here is that sometimes, especially on more luxury or premium travel experiences, some level of evacuation or medical coverage may be included as part of that tour or trip expense, so it's always good to check on that as well. Now, having said all of that, the benefits of having ample travel insurance directly through your credit card is that it's not only much more simple since you don't have to sign up for third-party insurance, which can save you a lot of money on its own, but even if you book a trip using miles and points, as long as you pay for the applicable taxes and fees with that particular card that offers those insurance benefits, then your card's insurance coverage will still be honored in most cases. So I always start with the benefits offered by my credit cards, and then we might pick up a third-party policy if it's some out of the ordinary situation, like a longer than normal trip, or something more adventurous and high risk than sitting by the pool in the Caribbean. All right, but as promised, let's finally get to some of our favorite cards that offer amazing travel insurance benefits. At the top of my personal list is the American Express Platinum Card. Yes, this is one of the most expensive credit cards on the market, but it offers $10,000 of trip cancellation insurance, $250 per person for meals after a delay of 4 hours or more, up to $1,000 to purchase essential travel items if your bag is delayed for more than 4 hours, as well as $1,200 in reimbursement if your bag is lost altogether. And then there's the big ones, like $500,000 in travel accident coverage, $100,000 for emergency medical transport, plus $250,000 for emergency medical services, including $1,000 for both emergency dental treatments and prescriptions. And last, but certainly not least, there's the car rental insurance for the entire amount of the repair or the fair market value of that rented vehicle. Did you get all that? Now, two downsides worth noting here is that the cancellation and delay coverage only applies if you booked round-trip travel with your Amex card, and the car rental insurance is secondary coverage, meaning you would have to first file with your primary insurance company. But all things considered, those are some pretty great benefits, and the Canadian version of the Platinum Card, which Mike actually used for his emergency surgery, offers even better travel insurance benefits. Now, at nearly half the annual fee of the Platinum Card, the Capital One Venture X still packs a punch with $2,000 of cancellation insurance per person, $500 in reimbursements for delays of 6 hours or more, up to $3,000 for delayed or lost luggage, unless you live in New York, where for some reason it's only $2,000, $250,000 in travel accident coverage, $800 for phone repair or replacement, assuming you pay your cell phone bill with that card, and up to $75,000 in primary rental car coverage, so unless you're renting a Lamborghini, you should be good there. Again, the detailed requirements and fine prints are different from one card to the next, so always make sure that you read through that first, but these benefits alone can really help offset the high annual fees of many of these premium travel credit cards. I can't tell you how many times I've been able to decline a rental company's expensive insurance since I knew that I'd be covered through the credit card that I was paying with, saving me hundreds, if not thousands of dollars over the years. And Mike's one emergency medical situation saved him $5,000, which will pay for that card's annual fee for like a decade. So will you get to use these benefits as often as airport lounge access? No. But the next time you find yourself in the middle of the Arabian desert with hot sand in your eyes after just having major eye surgery, you'll certainly be glad that you have it. There's lots of other cards that offer travel insurance benefits, including ones with much lower annual fees, and our number one pick, which we aren't even allowed to talk about on here. So if you want to see our full list of great cards that offer amazing travel insurance benefits, then I'll leave a link for that down in the description. But I'd love to hear your stories of when credit card travel insurance saved the day down in the comment section. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.